Hello, mother-in-law. About the new house me and Arturo have moved into recently, could you do something about the huge box of stuff you just sent us suddenly? What is this stuff anyways? Sure, the room isn't being used for now, but we plan to use it when we have a child. What? Do you mean the stuff I sent you the day before yesterday? Oh, I asked my son if we could temporarily store it there, and he said yes since you guys weren't planning on using it soon. Yeah, it's taking up a huge part of the room that I intend to use for something else. I know we're planning on making it our child's room in the future, but there's something else I want to use it for in the meantime. Oh, is that so? What are you going to be using it for? But Alejandro told me it was all right because you weren't going to be using the room, which is why I sent it to him. Huh? It's none of your business what I intend on using the room for. And besides, it doesn't matter whether Arturo gave you permission because I never gave you permission. I'm the wife of this house, you know. Do you think you can just do stuff without telling me? I see. I guess it was wrong of me not to tell you anything about it, but Arturo said that he had already told you. If that's the case, then sorry, but could you hold on to it for just 1 week? I'll find a rental warehouse to keep the stuff in. No! Take it out of our house right now! I'm not going to make our house your personal warehouse for the week. What? Right now? I'm sorry, but right now is impossible. I'm going to be using the room starting this afternoon, and I'm going to have a big problem if you don't move it out by then. Take it out now, or else I'll tell Arturo. But Alejandro himself said it was all right for me to keep the stuff there temporarily. Besides, you tell me to come and take the stuff right now, but I'm currently in Rome. What? Rome? What the hell are you doing in Rome? There's something I need to do here before I return. Even if I were to come and get it now, it would already be evening when I arrived. Oh, I get it. You're on some sort of vacation to celebrate your retirement last week, right? And what do you mean, there's something you need to do, LOL? Aren't you just an unemployed housewife who just lays around all day? No, not really. I'm a graphic designer, you see. Huh? What in the world is a graphic designer? Is that a fancy word for someone who plays video games on their computer? I always was never able to understand all this gadget stuff. Anyways, I got off topic. You won't be able to get it by today, right? Yes, I'm afraid so. Could you please just wait until I return next week? No, I can't wait until next week. I told you I would be using the room from this afternoon, right? My parents, nothing. Fine, if you won't come immediately, then I'll just throw it all out in the yard. What? Oh, hold on. What if it started raining? There are machines inside the box that can't be wet. I don't know. It's not my problem. Well then, I'm going to throw it out from the second floor window now. Huh? Couldn't you at least carry it outside? What in the hell do you need to throw it out of the window for? There are expensive computers and other appliances inside the box. They're going to break if you do that. It's your fault for sending us this huge box of stuff without my permission, LOL. I need to go throw it out now, so bye! Ezio, it's terrible.
Mother, what's wrong?
Oh, our stuff that I sent to your brother's new house to be stored in is going to be thrown out by Andrea. She said she's actually going to be using the empty room from this afternoon, and so I need to take the stuff out immediately. I'm in Rome, as you already know, so could you go and stop her for me? She said that she was going to throw them out of the second floor window. Our computers are sure to be smashed to pieces if she does something like that.
What? Why? What do you mean she's gonna throw us stuff outside the window? Didn't Alessandro tell her that we'd be keeping the stuff there temporarily? What in the world is she thinking?
I don't know the details, but it seems that Andrea didn't know what the stuff was. She said she can't just leave it in the room, so she's going to put it in the yard.
Seriously, is that woman insane or what? I knew it when I said that it wasn't a good idea for Alessandro to marry a woman like that.
Could you go and check in on their house quickly? Hurry before she throws it out.
All right, I'll try to get there as fast as possible. Mother, I was too late, I'm afraid.
What?
The clothes in the cardboard box were fine, but the work computer and other such electronics are all smashed to pieces.
I see.
All the data is backed up in the cloud, so that's not a problem, but this stuff cost a fortune. I can't work without a computer, so I guess I'll have to buy a new one.
But we're going to be needing the money soon. What a mess.
Anyways, could you please take care of the business with the real estate company like planned, Mom? I'll tell my brother about what happened and ask him to pay for the damages his wife caused.
Got it. Leave it to me.
Thanks. I guess I'm gonna have to clean up this mess in the yacht now.
We probably need to rent some sort of storage room temporarily.
I'll do that. We probably need to rent a truck as well.
All right. Thanks, Ezio.
Hey, Mom. I talked to Alessandro.
How did it go?
See, Alessandro's been on a business trip since yesterday, and he's currently in Sicily.
What? Really?
I asked him whether he could come home early, but apparently there aren't many flights, and the earliest he can come home is in 3 days. But he said that he told Andrea about our stuff, though. He said to leave the stuff in that room since the room was currently not being used, as they were planning to make it their child's room in the future.
I see.
Oh, I went up to their new house earlier, just to see what Andrea was up to, but...
Was there something strange?
Yeah, a man and a woman about your age went into the house carrying huge boxes.
A man and a woman my age?
I think those were Andrea's parents.
Huh?
I went to their house with Alessandro a few times to ask the parents' blessing for the marriage, so I know their faces. I'm pretty sure it's them.
Maybe they've come to visit?
It's fine if that's the case, but that amount of stuff is strange for just a visit. This is also right after she destroyed our stuff, so I feel like she's taking advantage of the fact that Alessandro isn't here currently. I smell trouble brewing.
Ezio came and took away all your stuff, mother-in-law. Yes, Ezio's stuff was also in there as well, so... What? Really? Ew! No way. Do you mean that I was a hair's breadth away from falling for your ploy to harass me? What do you mean you were a hair's breadth away from me harassing you? You sent me stuff without permission and took up a bunch of space in our room. You were planning on forcefully moving in with us after that, weren't you? Huh? It's my parents who are going to be moving in with us at our new house. That's the first I've heard about that. Of course! It's the first time I've told you, LOL. Does Alejandro know about this? He's currently on a business trip to Sicily, so I'll tell him when he gets back. But aren't your parents the one who are forcefully moving in? It's not a problem since I gave them permission, LOL. But fine, I'll propose a compromise to you. A compromise? If you give me $30,000 to celebrate our new house being built, then I'll let you live with us, LOL. $30,000? If you don't like my conditions, then you're not moving in. You had to leave the company house that you were living in until now when you retired. And now live in a temporary apartment, right? I know you were probably watching us, looking to see when you can move in, but it seems like you're out of luck, since I, the person who needs to be the most cautious of you, have already noticed your schemes, LOL. It's up to you whether you're going to have a peaceful retirement or not, LOL. I mean, even if you pay me the money, I'll only be giving you the small room under the stairs, though. I see. I never knew people could be this delusional. Huh? What do you mean delusional? You're the one who's delusional, mother-in-law, for thinking I wouldn't notice what you were trying to do. I don't care anymore, so I'm not going to explain it to you. Oh, so it's fine if you don't move in with us? Are you sure about that, LOL? How are you going to support yourself if you have no job? I have another son, Ezio, so it's fine. And I do, in fact, have a job, Andrea. Huh? You did? Anyways, good for you getting along so well with your second son at that age, LOL. All right, then will the two of you just disappear already? All right. I'm going to be asking you for payment for the work computer and other stuff you broke soon. Huh? What do you mean, work computer? You'll find out when you see the invoice I send you. Goodbye. Hey, what is the meaning of this, mother-in-law? What do you mean I need to pay you 30,000 euros? Oh, so you got the invoice I sent you, Andrea. I don't understand. But it's written on the paper. What don't you understand? The 30,000 euros is payment for breaking the 2 high-spec computers and the appliances that they came with, and also for business obstruction, as we weren't able to do any work because of this. What? $30,000 is cheap for the damages you caused. I didn't know this would happen. But I thought Alejandro explained it to you before and after you broke our stuff by text. He did tell me about it, but he said that we were only going to keep the stuff there until I found a new place to live, right? And that Ezio owns a small-scale business, and that we were going to move the company's headquarters to Rome since I had retired, and that I was going to move to Rome as well to assist him. There's no way I could have understood. Huh? Alejandro showed me the text he sent you. To me, it looks like he explained it very carefully to you, though. It was a bit confusing to me, I swear. Alejandro says that you won't understand often when he explains it to you directly, so he purposefully explained it to you by text so you wouldn't be able to say that he never said anything. You're saying that you didn't understand even after that? Either you have no intention of understanding in the first place, or you're delusional and see things only as how you want to see them. Even if you say that to me now, why don't you read our conversation again? No, read it multiple times until you finally understand. It's too late. It's not going to change anything anymore. Mother-in-law, something terrible has happened. Your son, Alejandro, just divorced me. My parents already sold our old house because we thought we would be living in the new house Alejandro bought. Now we have nowhere to go, and none of us have a job, so we won't be able to support ourselves from now on. Please, mother-in-law, could you tell Alejandro to get back together with me? I promise I won't do such a thing again, and I'll do as he says. I admit what I did was wrong, so help us. Oh, hello, Andrea. I'm not your mother-in-law anymore, so don't call me that. You say that you're sorry and that you won't do such a thing again, but how are we supposed to believe you? They say people deserve second chances, but us helping you would no longer be your second chance, but your 100th. This was your biggest and most flashiest mess-up so far, but this isn't the first time that you've just ignored what Alejandro told you and pretended not to understand him, right? Please, I know what I did was wrong, and I really do promise to change. Just give me one last chance, and if I mess up again, I promise you'll never see from me or my parents ever again. Please help us. Sorry, Andrea. Our family has already given you too many chances until now, especially Alejandro. He believed that you were a good person at heart and only seemed mean and arrogant, which is why he married you against both me and Ezio's wishes. So don't expect us to help you when even Alejandro has given up. What? But please, just one more chance? You see, I'm also currently in Rome. I'll work at Ezio's company, so could you forget about the 30,000 euros, please? What? Why are you in Rome? Couldn't you have just found a job in our hometown if you were willing to work after all? There are plenty of jobs that you don't need much skill to do. You could work as a cashier or something. Oh, you know how to bake bread, right, Andrea? Why not work at a bakery? And besides, I'm not the person you should be asking about this. Ask Ezio. He's the one in charge of hiring employees. I wouldn't get your hopes up, though. You don't know how to use computers, right? Yeah, I don't know how to use computers, but you can just teach me. The work Ezio's company does mostly has to do with graphic design. You're not going to be able to do any work if you can't use a computer. And teaching someone the necessary skills to do this job from scratch is very difficult. You wouldn't be paid much at the beginning, even if Ezio was kind enough to hire you. Can you use a computer, mother-in-law? Is it really that hard? Using a computer itself isn't that hard. Even a child could do it. But I'm afraid that the skills required for a position at Ezio's company are quite advanced and aren't something that can just be taught to someone. And yes, I used to do something similar in my old job, so it isn't a problem. I've been doing this stuff for years, you see. Then I could serve tea or make copies or something. I'll really do anything you want me to do. I'll do my best. Sorry, but we can serve tea and make copies on our own. And besides, if you really mean what you're saying right now, then I don't understand why you don't just find a job at our hometown. With that enthusiasm, I'm sure there's someone that would be willing to hire you. Just don't be as arrogant to them as you used to be with me, though. But at least ask Ezio first, then to reply to me. He's sure to say yes if he can just see that I really mean it when I say I'll try my best. I already did. He sits at the desk next to me, and he said no. Sorry, but Ezio never did really like you, Andrea. We can't have our team of employees hating each other, you know. He said that he wouldn't hire you even if you did know how to use a computer. Oh, that's so mean of him. And to think I was really going to change and be a better person if he had hired me. Not anymore, though. I see. So you weren't sincere when you said all those things back there? Anyways, you need to pay us the 30,000 euros soon, no? Please be sure to pay it on time. Yeah, but can't I do something else for you then? There has to be something you want me to do. Yes, I want you to pay 30,000 euros on time. I'm currently doing work, so goodbye. Wait, please, mother-in-law! I don't have any money. We don't even have a place to live anymore since Alejandro kicked us out. Please, mother-in-law, I'm just an uneducated housewife. I won't be able to find another job so easily. My parents, too, are already too old to work. You're our only hope now. It seems that Andrea and her parents sold their old house before moving into the new house Alejandro bought. Apparently, they're now living in a temporary apartment with the money they got from selling the house. But since their old house didn't sell for that much and Andrea had to pay me 30,000 euros, almost all of their savings evaporated. The only source of income they could rely on is the meager pension of her parents. Andrea didn't want to work even after getting divorced, since she was always just a housewife, which caused her and her parents to argue constantly because they wanted her to get a job as soon as possible. Eventually, Andrea got sick of it and cut ties with her parents. Andrea was kicked out of their temporary apartment, but she also didn't want to work, so, wanting to live an easy life, she tried to seduce a rich man who was already married. His wife found out about this and made Andrea pay a huge sum of euros as an alimony. Having no other choice, she was forced to get a job at a brothel. Me and Ezio, on the other hand, are enjoying our new lives in Rome. The city is so vibrant and full of energy, unlike the countryside. Everything feels like it's been sped up by 50%. Ezio's business expanded rapidly since moving to Rome, and the number of employees tripled in the first year since moving here. My eldest son, on the other hand, is now living the life of a bachelor back in our hometown. He says that he enjoys having so much time to spend as he likes, and has even picked up a new hobby, chess. I hope that the next woman he finds is someone who actually deserves my wonderful son Alejandro, and not someone ungrateful like Andrea.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Jack, I have had enough of you fooling around out here. Stop trying to act like it's a good thing to be single at your age and find a woman you can actually stay married to. And once you find that woman, you make her bring me a grandbaby. If you could just try a little harder to find someone, you could become a very good husband and father, right? All you are right now is a complete embarrassment to me.
I think asking Jasmine to bring you that grandbaby would be a lot more effective, Mom. And those two already took fertility tests and the results came back saying that they are both good to go.
I understand that, but that has nothing to do with you. What I'm trying to tell you right now is that it's embarrassing to have my oldest son grow up single and with no kids.
But Mom, I already told you I don't plan on getting married anymore.
Huh? You're going on about that again? Then what's going to happen to me getting my grandbaby?
And that's why I said, you won't be getting a grandbaby from me, okay? I've been to the doctor about it already and they said it's better for me to just look past wanting kids based on the very low chance I have of getting someone pregnant. I even tried bringing up adoption as an option, but you budged in, saying that it was the wife's fault for not bringing in any kids. And you still wonder why she left me after all that crap you gave her. For something that's not anyone's fault but my own. Why is it so hard for you to accept the truth, Mom? You literally do anything but accept the truth, and that includes hurting those who aren't even at fault. If I had to give you a reason why I'm not married now and never will be again, I'd say it has to do with you always getting in the way.
You're going on about that again as well?
If you don't want to hear about it again, then stop making me bring it up. The fact that you always come to me about not having any kids and not having anyone to love is why I always go back and bring up the reasons why. It's driving me nuts.
Well, listen, Jack. You don't have to cover for that ex of yours being infertile anymore, because you've already divorced her and she means nothing to us anymore, right?
Jesus Christ, Mom. I'm not lying about it to protect her. I'm being serious when I say that I'm the one that's infertile. I even showed you the test results from the clinic, right?
Well, anyway, I'm not going to allow you to stay single. The only way you're going to continue staying a man in my family is by getting yourself another wife and making some kids with her. That's what all men need to do, and you're no exception.
Please stop with all this, Mom. At this point, you continue to go in circles about this. It's just wasting everyone's time.
Jack!
I have an early morning tomorrow, so good night.
I've had enough sitting here waiting. You must be planning to surprise me with something, right?
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about that penthouse you have. You must have bought that recently, right?
Huh?
When I went into your apartment earlier, I saw the papers on that place lying on your computer.
You've gone and created yet another duplicate key to my place without my permission? Are you still not able to get it into your head that it's because of crap like you that you've caused my last relationship to flounder and forced me to divorce my wife? I can't believe you right now, Mom.
Well, you're my son, and I think I have the right to have access to your apartment. So when are you going to be able to introduce me to that new wife of yours?
Seriously?
The penthouse I saw in those papers lying in your apartment showed that it has 3 bedrooms and a very spacious kitchen, so there must be a good reason for you buying it, right? What kind of woman is the girl you're with right now? Is she the kind of woman that can actually get pregnant and birth some children?
It was after you bought that penthouse that you made my relationship with my ex-wife impossible and I had to divorce her.
Huh?
It's been over a year now since I bought that penthouse. After the divorce, I've been dealing with a lot of personal things, and I still have work and that to deal with as well, so I haven't had time to move into the place or anything yet.
Huh? What the? Can you stop trying to upset me right now? But if that's really the case with you, that penthouse doesn't belong to someone who's single and has no plan to have a family, right?
Huh?
Well, listen, your sister has gotten pregnant.
Oh, is that so? Tomorrow I'll send her a text telling her congrats.
Well, what I'm trying to say is that I want you to give that penthouse to your sister and her husband.
What?
Right now, your sister is living in a small apartment with her husband that only has 1 bedroom and 1 bathroom in it. Right now, the place is decent for those two, but the moment they have their first baby, they're going to need more space to work with. You can understand that, right?
Well, yeah, I understand that.
Then please give that place to your sister.
Stop being ridiculous, Mom. I am planning to move into that place real soon, and starting this week I plan to get my things packed up and ready to go.
Having a place as big as that all to yourself is far too greedy.
Why is that greedy? Also, this place wasn't even gonna be mine in the first place after the divorce, but I was able to get it after much talk with my ex about how much I planned on using it. You have no right telling me to give it away after you almost made me lose it once already.
You are far too old now to be saying such selfish garbage.
How am I being selfish right now?
Are we finished here, Jack? I'm tired of having to fight you all the time on stuff like this. That place is too big for you and would be perfect for your sister, her husband, and her soon-to-be-born baby. And me. Having a place that open for the 4 of us to live in would be perfect.
Hold on a minute. It seems to me like the conditions have changed, and you just made it look as though you plan to live with them in the penthouse.
And what's wrong with me wanting that?
Have you ever even spoken with either of them yet about your plan?
There's no reason for me to talk with them about it now.
Well, if they need a house that's bigger than the apartment they're in, then the normal thing to do would be to move into a bigger place, or have a new place built for their needs, right? And I believe that both of us have heard already from her husband that he plans on having a place of his own built for the family, instead of moving into an already built home, right? Even if I did want to give them my penthouse, they probably don't need it.
I've had enough of this talk. Just give them the dang penthouse. If you continue to keep saying no to what your own mother is asking you, then I'll have to disown you.
Really?
But if you give them that place, then we can all go on with our lives again as normal. You don't want me cutting ties to you, right?
Actually, I don't care if you do or don't.
Right? You know just as well as I do that we don't want that.
Huh? Wait, that's not what I meant.
Yeah. You can stop trying to talk your way out of all this now. I am looking forward to moving into that place and having so much room to work with while raising my grandbaby.
That's not what I meant.
Well, since that's what's going to happen soon, I need to start preparing my things as well to move into that place.
Go and do what you'd like, Mom. But don't come back to me when things aren't what they seemed.
Jack! Why are you living in this penthouse right now? You were supposed to have given your sister this place so that her family and I could live here without you.
How do you know about me moving out of my old apartment?
I went to your previous apartment to come see it, and the man living next door to your place told me that you moved out. And when he said that to me, I went right to the building that the penthouse is located in, and I can see that you're in there right now. But when I ran after you as you opened the door, you slammed it in my face before I could come inside.
Well, luckily there's a really fast auto lock on the door that kicked in right before you turned the handle. And if you don't have the key to that lock, you can't get in.
Well, then hand that key over to me right now, Jack. I went to your apartment today looking for that key after all, so now that I've had to run all the way here after you moved in without letting me know, I'm getting that key.
So you went into that apartment again without my permission, huh? Thank God I moved out of there before you started to have one of these fits again.
You don't have any plans to get married again, right?
That's right. All I'm thinking about now is living as a bachelor for the rest of my life.
Then hurry up and get the hell out of there. That penthouse is far too good for some half-cooked man like you who doesn't plan to have a wife or kids.
Well, I'm planning on making this place into my office and this studio as well.
Huh? Making it into an office?
For a long time now, I've been doing this sort of work as a sort of side hustle, and now I'm thinking of focusing on it full time. And as of right now, I've been working with a friend of mine on merging our businesses and making a larger company.
And so what? That sort of stuff has nothing to do with that penthouse.
Well, that friend that I'm working with had plans to get married next year, and then move into a place close to his penthouse. But right now his partner is overseas for work, and he's all alone over here. So the plan is to have him stay in this penthouse with me for the next year until his woman returns and they get married.
What the heck? Why did you make all of those plans without me?
Because this is my penthouse, and since it's mine, I can do what I want with it.
But I told you that if you don't want to be disowned, you have to give that place over to your sister so that her family can move into there. You can look back in our texts and see exactly what I told you. I said for you to give the penthouse to her, and that you don't want me cutting ties with you, right? And you replied by saying you don't care if I do or don't.
Yeah, and that meant that I don't care what you do about your relationship with me. In other words, go ahead and disown me.
Huh?
You can go back into our messages and see what I told you. You're mistaking what I said, and that it wasn't what you thought it meant, right?
What? You're kidding, right?
I wanted to make things more clear for you, but you wouldn't stop talking, and told me to stop talking about it anytime I try to speak, so I gave up on it. And honestly, I'm totally okay with you cutting your ties to me, and that's why I stopped caring about you having a misunderstanding about what I said.
What the heck? Then what should I do now?
Go back to your own house and stay quiet from now on?
But I already moved ahead and sold my place.
Is that right?
What the hell is up with you acting like that's got nothing to do with you?
Well, you're cutting ties to me now, right?
No, I don't think so.
Are we done here? I have some things that I need to get back to, and I can see that you have nothing left to say to me that I care to hear. Bye.
Wait a second. What the heck am I going to do? Jack? Hey!
What do you want? What could you possibly want with me now?
Hey, do you know where your sister ran off to?
Huh? Why are you asking me where she's gone? All I know about her is that her husband and her moved back closer to his hometown because there would he be closer to his job.
Huh? They moved even further away? That town is almost 4 hours away from here.
Before those two even got married, they were talking about how before they even had a kid, they'd move back into his hometown where he'd be closer to his job and be in a better place to raise the kids. The only reason why he was working around here for a little while in the first place is because the company he works for is owned by his dad, and he was asked to start helping with the starting of a new office in town. But they agreed that once his wife became pregnant, he could go back to his old office closer to his hometown and have his kid there.
What?
And it's getting pretty close to the due date for that baby, so they decided to move back to his hometown before she had the baby and is all tired out.
Well, why did I never hear anything about this from them?
It's because you're a reckless woman, so we all decided to keep their move a secret from you so you couldn't do anything crazy to them.
Huh? I'm reckless?
You made a huge deal about having me give up on my penthouse and handing it over to my sister so that her and her husband could have their baby there and you could live there with them as well. They also knew about how I bought this place before my divorce and that you were the reason my wife ended up leaving me. And if all that wasn't enough, you were causing a crap ton of stress for her by always trying to control everything she planned to do with the baby, as though it was gonna be your baby somehow. Well, anyway, there's a whole bunch of reasons that began to pile up, and that's why they both chose to move out of town without telling you.
What the heck? Does she not want me around to help her in raising her baby when it's born? Did she forget who raised her to become the perfect woman she is now?
And as far as we're concerned, it was Dad that raised the both of us into the people we are now.
Huh?
Dad was the one making the money in the house for all of us to live on, and he was also the one that did the most cooking and cleaning in the house. You were a housewife, but you ended up slacking off quite a lot.
Wait a second.
Also, it's been 2 years now since you left the house to live on your own away from Dad because you didn't want him to listen to you asking all the time to do the chores, right? Well, he's told me that he plans to divorce you now since you're never going back to him.
But if he leaves me, how am I going to make any money?
No, I'm not, because you told me you disowned me and cut ties with me.
But you are my son, so you should be able to do something about this, please.
I think we're pretty much done here, right? I'm a very busy man now, and I got things I gotta get back to. Can you make sure to never talk to me again?
Jack!
Now I'm gonna get back to work. Goodbye forever. After her and I had our final conversation, my mom came running back to my penthouse door and continued to hang around it for hours and hours. But after a while of hearing her constant knocking around my penthouse door and the building itself, others in the building began to become suspicious of her and called the police on her. They came just at the time I wasn't around, so she couldn't get me to come and help her, meaning the police put her in their car and drove her to the nearest station. After she was let out of the police station the following day, she proceeded to start heading back to the building my penthouse was in, only to be stopped by my dad, who told her that he heard about everything and would be sending her to my older brother's business outside the state. There she would work for him and make some money to support herself, while also being too far away to do anything about me and the rest of my family. Her brother operates a logging business, so the location she'll be working at is far in the mountains and forests, where it takes almost a day to get to by buggy or truck. So because of her being so remote, I can feel a sense of relief knowing she'll never make it back here again. And of course, this meant that Dad was able to divorce her as well. I hope that now she's lost pretty much everything in her immediate family, and she'll begin to make a new family out there in the middle of nowhere cutting wood all day with all those other loggers. And I'm sure that unlike us, those loggers won't even let her get away with a second of that reckless attitude she had with us. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought about the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
Hey, Silva. Where are my snacks to go with the beer? And the beer isn't cold as well. Didn't I tell you to put the beer I bought yesterday in the fridge as soon as possible?
Oh, hello, Franz. You're already home? Sorry, I was intending on putting the beer in the refrigerator when I got home.
What? What do you mean you're already home? Can't I return to my own home? Isn't it the wife's job to welcome the husband who's tired from a day of work with perfect preparation? I should have everything I want. What the hell did you get off to anyways?
But you always come home after 5 o'clock, but it's still 4:26 right now. I thought I had an hour left until you got back, which is why I decided to buy some stuff at the supermarket.
What?
I make my schedule for the day assuming that you're going to go home after 5. If you're going to leave the office early, you have to tell me about it. Otherwise, I won't be able to do the preparations in time.
What? Is it still 4:26?
Yeah, it is. Why?
Damn it.
What's the matter?
I went home an hour earlier than I was supposed to. Thought it was already 5 o'clock.
So are you going to go back to the office, or are you going to come home?
I'm going to return to the office.
All right, take care then. Hi, Franz. I'm going to go visit my parents' house tonight.
Huh? Why? Did something happen?
I just got a text saying that my mom sprained her ankle earlier, so I want to check in on her.
What? But isn't your dad with her? And your younger brother who's still in university as well. Can't they take care of her? Why do you have to go when they're already there?
Even if they are family, there are some things that only a fellow woman can help out with, which is why I want to check in on her.
That's impossible.
What?
Silva, you're my wife, you know that? I'm more important than your parents as your husband. The thing you have to prioritize above everything else is me and the things around me.
Yes, but I intend on making dinner and getting the bath ready before I leave, so it shouldn't be a problem for you.
That's not what I'm talking about. I'm telling you to stay in the house no matter what.
What? Why? But I just said that I already did all the housework I had to do for the day.
I already told you that's not the problem. As my wife, you have to be there to welcome me home after I come home from work. If you're not there once I get home, I won't forgive you for it, all right?
Sorry, Mom. I think me coming home tonight is going to be impossible. My husband Franz says that I can't leave the house. Oh, don't worry about it. I'm fine. All that happened is that I sprained my ankle, and Dad is going to do the housework for me, so... But still, aren't there some things that only I can help with and not Dad and Rousseau? I still don't know what's going to be a problem and what's not now that I can't walk properly. It's all right if you don't come tonight. Just come home when I know for sure what I need your help with. All right. Things aren't going well with your husband, Franz, are they? Huh? What makes you think that? I can tell by your tone that you had some sort of fight with him, didn't you? And it's probably not the first time something like this has happened, right? I know it's a bit rude to say such things to someone who's now my child by law, but that person believes that not being able to do any housework is some sort of a sign of masculine superiority, doesn't he? I suppose he's one of those old-fashioned men who believes that the wife should do everything she can to serve her husband. You get that too? Yes. It's not like I haven't met him before, Sylvia, and I could see it in how he acted since the moment I set eyes on him. I decided to be forgiving and give the two of you my blessing for the marriage, but now I see that might not have been the best decision. It's all right if you could figure something out with him by talking to him, but if he's so stubborn that still doesn't work, then you'll need to decide what to do about your own future. I guess you're right. I'll try and talk to him, Mother, and if that doesn't work, then... Hello, Mother. Can you talk right now? What is it, Sylvia? I want to talk to you about Franz. He was cheating on me all this time. To think that he was always so proud, telling me how I needed to serve him as a wife, but in reality, he was really just a swine. What? I'm so sorry to hear that, Sylvia. This must be hard for you. To be honest, I was shocked when I heard about it at first, but then I realized that this might actually have been good luck, because divorcing him now will be much easier. You see, one of my friends is Franz's colleague at work, and she told me that he's been making approaches on a young female employee at the office. That asshole Franz. I realize now that he married me just so I could do the housework for him, and that marrying him was a terrible decision. Not just that, but he even calls me a good-for-nothing housewife who can't do anything and is still reliant on her parents. He even says that the food I make tastes bad, the baths I prepare for him are dirty, and that the house is a dumpster because I don't clean it. Apparently, he told this female employee about me, and she said to him,
I pity you, Franz. I'm really good at housework, so I would make a great wife.
and that's how they started going out. It seems. Wow, I just have no words. I knew he was that kind of husband, but I didn't know that he had absolutely zero respect for you. I'm going to start gathering evidence from now, but I intend on divorcing him as soon as possible. I understand. I think that's the best option as well. I'll tell Dad about your situation, so just tell us if you need any help, all right? Yeah, thanks.
Hey, Silva. Are you seriously not home again? It looks like you haven't been doing the housework recently as well. I had hoped that as my wife you would feel a bit more responsibility, but it can't be helped. I'm going to use my final weapon. I'm going to put the divorce papers on the table. I'll be kind enough to sleep somewhere else tonight, so make sure you use that time to reflect on your mistakes. I'm going to decide whether I'm going to cancel this divorce or not when I get home from work tomorrow and see your attitude towards me. So you better think about what you did wrong, okay? If you don't want to get divorced, then make sure everything's perfect. I don't want there to be a single speck of dust in this house. I want the bath you prepare for me to be crystal clear, and I want you to make those meat and potatoes for me for dinner. Oh, and make sure the beer is cold this time. Silva, hey, did you prepare my dinner yet? Come home right now and make me dinner. What the fuck? You didn't even do the laundry? I'm not going to have anything to wear to work tomorrow if you don't do the laundry right now, Silva. Answer my texts. Where the hell did you even go off to? Don't tell me that you went against my orders and went to your parents' house, did you? I told you that I wouldn't forgive you if you did, didn't I? Well, it's like you haven't been listening to a word I say these past few days.
Hello, Franz. I'm not going to tell you where I am right now. I noticed that I was getting a ton of notifications. What the hell is this supposed to be?
What do you mean, what is this supposed to be? I thought that you would be a bit more sorry for your own actions yesterday, but this is how you greet me? What the hell are you thinking not being home when I come home from work, Silva? I told you over and over that it's your job as my wife to welcome me home and have everything ready for me after a tiring day of work. I had overtime today, so you should have had plenty of time to prepare your welcome for me when I got home. But you haven't done a thing. What in the world is the meaning of this? Do you want to get divorced with me that badly?
Oh, if it's a divorce you're talking about, I already turned in those divorce papers of yours to the city hall.
What? You turned them in? Wait, that's not what I thought would happen.
Yes, I turned them in. I know it was probably just a coincidence, but you gave me those divorce papers at a really good time. You saved me from doing a lot of work myself. I'll thank you for that at least. Thank you for preparing those divorce papers.
What? What in the world are you talking about? Coincidence? Good timing. It's almost as if you were planning on divorcing me from the start.
Yes, I was, actually. I've been preparing the things I need to get divorced with you for about a month now.
Why?
I mean, the only reason you married me was because you wanted me to do the housework for you. But I turned out to be a terrible maid, right? I'm still relying on my parents and just lay around doing nothing all day.
What? Where did you get that?
The food I make tastes bad, the baths I prepare for you are dirty, and the house is a dumpster because I don't clean it properly.
What? How do you...
I told you already that one of my friends is a colleague of yours at work, right? I heard about everything from her.
Could it be that...
That I also know that you're cheating on me?
So you do know about it then? Shit. I completely forgot that one of your friends was my colleague. Should have been more careful.
Yeah, I don't want to hear about how you messed up or whatever. A lawyer is going to come and see you tomorrow.
A lawyer? You prepared even that? Don't you think that hiring a lawyer is a bit of an over-exaggeration?
By the way, this other woman you were cheating on me with, Martina, was captured by her parents, who came all the way here from the province. They're going to make sure that Martina doesn't try and run away before she pays me an alimony.
Seriously? You're gonna make us pay you for an alimony? What the fuck, Silva? You don't have the right!
Actually, the law says that I do have the right. I think the two of you aren't going to have your contracts renewed at the dispatch company and are going to lose your jobs soon. But I have zero intention of being lenient, so I'm not going to let you two go without paying me first. You can do whatever you want after that, but it won't be my problem anymore.
Wait, hold on, Silva. I think you should think about this a bit more carefully. If you divorce me, then surely you wouldn't be able to support yourself anymore since you're just a housewife with a part-time job. All you have to do is forget all this ever happened and do what I say, like you always did. Just take care of things around the house and you won't have to worry about money. Stop with these strange ideas of yours and let's go back to how things were, shall we?
Whoever gave you that idea? I mean, you only earn 2,000 euros a month in the first place, which is just barely more than the salary I get paid every month working as a part-time worker. Oh, and not only that, but I'm going to become a full-time employee in the near future.
What? But you're just a housewife with no skills to speak of. How in the world were you offered a job as a part-time employee?
Who told you that I don't have any skills to speak of, Franz? That's just what you told yourself to make yourself feel better, isn't it? I told the store owner that I was preparing a divorce, and he told me that I could become a full-time employee if I wanted. He said he wanted to bring me the offer earlier, but he had heard that my husband was the kind of person that would get mad if his wife wasn't home when he was. So he thought that letting me be a part-time worker that has more freedom with shifts than a full-time worker would be more convenient for me. So don't worry about me once we get divorced, because I'm going to be able to support myself just fine.
Oh, is that so?
We got off topic, but yeah, I'm going to divorce you. Just listen to what the lawyer tells you and pay what you have to pay and we'll be done.
Damn it. Fine. If that's what you want, then let's get divorced. I promise I'm going to find happiness with Martina, who's a lot younger than you in the first place. Not only does she say that she's great at doing housework, but she also earns more than you as a dispatch worker. Meaning that she's better than you in every way possible. Silva, I changed my mind. We're not getting divorced. You see, Martina moved in with me right after you left, but it seems she's terrible at doing housework. She doesn't clean the house and she doesn't iron the clothes after doing the laundry, so I have to go to work with my clothes full of wrinkles. Even her cooking is worse than yours. Eating it makes me want to vomit. But for some reason, she makes each dish with complete confidence, and if I don't eat everything, she gets furious. She even threw a knife at me once. I can't take this anymore. Not only that, I don't have any more money because I had to pay you that alimony. But for some reason, she keeps buying expensive ingredients when she cooks. It's been decided that I'm going to be relocated to customer service from next month, and my salary is going to become smaller. At this rate, I don't even know if I'm going to be able to pay the bills for my credit card next month. But Martina quit her job at the dispatch company and says she's going to be a housewife from now on and refuses to work. Now that I think of it, I now realize that the food you made was delicious. Yup, I definitely want you more than her. Well, that's the situation, so could you please just come back? Oh, I almost forgot to tell you. I want to eat your meat and potatoes when you come back. Just prepare the food, the bath, and the beer for when I get home from work, just like you always used to do. Oh, and it's fine if you kick Martina out. Actually, I'd be thankful if you did. Alright, see you tomorrow then. Reply to these texts as soon as you see them, alright? Hey Silva, why haven't you come home yet? I told you that I was canceling the divorce, didn't I? Martina is still here as well. I told you to kick her out, didn't I? Jesus, the house smells like burnt food. Damn it, do I have to eat that dark matter food again?
To be honest, I was confused as to why he thought that I would just come back after I had divorced him. By the way, it seems that Franz and Martina got married the day after me and Franz got divorced. According to my friend, who's also a colleague of Franz's, Martina is a dark-type mentality, unstable berserker. As soon as I heard that she threw a knife at Franz when he refused to eat her food, I realized that this description of hers was incredibly accurate. After Franz sent me those texts, it seems that Martina found out how Franz wanted to get back together with me, and so she started screaming and chasing Franz around with a frying pan. The neighbors called the police on them, but obviously this wasn't enough to scare Martina. Franz, who always talked about how the wife was meant to serve the husband, now spends every day under constant fear as to what his new wife might do to him. Not to mention being made to eat her famous dark matter food.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.